Yes, hello. I'm doing okay. It's my first day. It's my first day producing cuz Jacob is gone now and it has not been good. As you can tell, it is 37 minutes past start time. So apologies, and just so you know, the video is really bad and it's really shaky. So if you can't stand it, I don't blame you. You can definitely listen to us later on the audio podcast. But also, how dare I? I didn't wish everybody a happy May the 4th. I should have done that first. So happy May the 4th, and sorry about the video. Okay. Uh, if everybody can hear me, I'm just going to send us to technical difficulties. I don't think they can.
Hello there, and welcome to a very accident-prone The Cosmic Force. It is May the 4th, so with any luck, the rest of the show will be able to push on no problem, but boy, it's been a bit of a fun time behind the scenes. Jacob, if you're out there, we miss you.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
I don't blame you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Emma, oh, good. Okay. Tyler who is not joining us live on the show, but is in the chat, says they can hear me. So,
Good.
Emma, let's try that again. How are you doing?
Been better. Yeah, so, okay, first of all, happy May the 4th. I don't really know if you guys could hear me during that or not, so I'm just going to say it again just in case. We are having a lot of technical difficulties, and the video is very choppy, so if you can't stand watching us, we get it. This audio will be on all of our podcasting platforms as per usual, so we won't be offended if you can't stand it. And also, just for a little bit of behind the scenes context, we cannot see each other right now. I'm the only one that can see anyone, so I'm sure that this is going to be interesting. It's basically just like a phone call, so yeah, but it's going to be fun, and it's May the 4th, so how could we not have fun? And we've had some great news today that we're really excited to talk about. So yeah, let's keep trucking forward here.
Absolutely. Speaking of great news, we have our going to be our long-term co-host here, Timothy. Welcome back to the show.
Okay,
What's
Caleb,
up?
you cannot see this right now, but just give it a second on YouTube. This is amazing. This is amazing.
Oh my goodness! He's
I'm
back.
doing so well. Jacob is here with us in spirit. My intention is hopefully to have little stick Jacob with us throughout every episode. I'm filling in for the next couple of months while he's off doing really fun things. So I don't know. I'm gonna stick him in different places throughout my apartment. I don't know. We'll see.
I love that
But
so much.
I'll try to get him to make an appearance every week.
This is fitting because he is the Utini meme lord, and now you're memeing him.
Mhm.
So I love it.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great.
I
stuff.
also do need to slightly meme you and Tyler, I guess. I know Tyler's not here because he's licking his wounds from his team getting beat so bad in game one.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
And I will say the same would probably apply to you too, since you also had 5 goals put up on the Bruins there. But I will kind of humble myself a bit, being a Preds fan. We had 7 scored on us, so.
I was gonna say, so you're gonna troll me in Jacob's place then?
Yes, exactly.
That's
That
fair.
is what I'm here for.
That is very fair. I don't blame you.
Absolutely. So to we're going to change gears here a little bit from a longtime co-host to the first time here joining us on live, from Timothy, a big sports fan, to our very own Dr. Corey Helton, who's not a sports fan. How are you doing, Corey?
Sports. What are sports? Is that that's those things that happen on the TV, with the ball and right,
Sometimes
Exactly.
with the ball,
court,
sometimes
the
with
field,
the puck.
sometimes with,
Yeah.
okay,
Draft.
yeah.
You know that word.
Hello,
right?
everyone. Hello. We are we got started a little late this morning. We tried very hard to get everything to work, but that just gave me time to pound an entire Truly. So here we are, and we're gonna have a good time. I'm excited to do this. I wish I could see everybody, but we're gonna fix it. We'll fix it in post.
Yes. We said we are going to do it live. That is what we said.
right.
If
Yeah,
you know
said
the
something
reference,
else, but-
you know that I can't say exactly what that reference is.
Guess we're a PG-13 show at the worst of
That's right.
times. Speaking
I'm
of
excited. I'm excited though, guys. Listen, I don't think I've only been on one of their podcasts on the entire company. I've been on
right.
Star Wars Archives with Trev and Jose a couple months back, and this is exciting. It's exciting to come on another show. So thanks for having me. Seriously.
Yeah, we're excited to have
Absolutely.
you. I thought of you like right away because I was like, okay, I know Corey doesn't like super keep up with comics, but this is the perfect episode because it's not super comics focused. So I figured if there was any time, it would be now.
That's right.
Absolutely. And if you are, speaking of, join us live anytime, welcome. We are a Star Wars comics podcast that broadcasts here live here on youtube.com/utini every Wednesday night at 8-ish p.m. If you can't join us live, that's okay. We will be available later on all your favorite podcast platforms. We're also a part of the great Utini Podcast Network. With a Discord channel at utini.com/discord with over 1,000 members and dozens of channels to choose from. Like what you see? More appropriately, do you like what you hear? We want to say thanks. Head over to our Patreon channel at patreon.com/utini, where for as little as $5 whole a month, you can gain exclusive access to the entire Utini podcast network of shows, as well as exclusive merch and community involvement. Emma, do we have any new patrons this week?
We do. We have one new patron two new patrons. I believe this is like breaking
I
news
snuck one in
here.
there on you.
You did. I love it. Love to see it. So we've got a new monthly patron, Tanner Robinson, and a new annual patron, David Bruto. So thank you both so much. We really appreciate it, especially as we're approaching Celebration here. All this Patreon money means so much. I'm sure Corey can attest to that.
Dude, we are like so poor right now. Oh my gosh. Listen, Celebration is costing a small fortune. We are spending literally thousands of dollars on Celebration. I shipped a whole bunch of stuff to Freddie, who lives out in Huntington Beach, south of LA, and just shipping several boxes of stuff that I was shipping here, not counting stuff that I bought and had shipped to him already. We spent almost $200 in shipping, just equipment and giveaways, and it's going to be rad. It's going to be a big time. So hope to see some folks at Celebration. But as I said on the Living Force earlier this week, if you are not making it a Celebration, as I know so many people wish they could, and that's just not attainable for so many people, because I get it. It costs a fortune. We are going to try to do a lot of coverage and make things fun after, before, and during Celebration. So, hang in there with us, and we'll make it fun for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you to our two new patrons and to all of our patrons, because without you, this would quite literally not be possible. All right. So
Wait, did we actually say their names yet?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I
Yes.
I blanked out there. So
Well, I will give an
moving
extra special thank you to Tanner Robinson and David Bruto, just in case.
just in case.
I will add, if you don't mind. So David
Yeah.
Bruto joining at the annual level, we actually announced for all of this month and into June, we're offering our annual patrons an extra discount. So basically, if you sign up for an annual membership, you get 16% off the year, which is 2 free months, essentially. So a bunch of content for much less cost. So if you're interested, hit me up. I'm our primary Patreon manager. So happy to help any way I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do that. We have so much great content on our Patreon. One of my favorites is the Ghost Crew with Eric and Charlie. They're going through all of Star Wars Rebels. And I'm not going to lie, it's getting me excited for Kenobi, because there's going to be some tie-ins there for sure. So definitely reach out to do that. It's a great deal.
Absolutely. Speaking of new stuff coming out, we got a weekly poll list. Emma, since you're taking over the technical side, do you want to take over the poll list?
Of course, it only feels right to have the producer do the poll list. All right, so we're starting out with a big one here. As you can see next to me, we have the first issue of Obi-Wan. The subtitle is Youngling's Challenge. It's written by Christopher Cantwell with pencils by friend of the show, Ario Anandito, with the cover by Phil Noto, and the colors by Carlos Lopez, and the letters by Joe Caramanga. So yeah, that was definitely the biggest release of the day. And then the second release here, if I can find it. Here we go. Next one up is Star Wars 23, subtitled The Dawn Alliance, written by Charles Soule, pencils and inks by Ramon Rosanas, the cover by Carlo Pagulayan, colors by Rochelle Rosenberg, and letters by Clayton Cowles. So that's it for our 2 single issues this week. We yesterday had 2 collected editions. First up, big one, the High Republic Volume 3, Jedi's End. This collects the High Republic numbers 11 through 15 and both issues of Eye of the Storm. The High Republic author is Kevin Scott, and then the Eye of the Storm author is Charles Soule. The pencils are by Georges Giante, friend of the show Ario Anandito, and Guillermo Sana. And the cover is by Phil Noto. And one last thing here, we also have an omnibus that came out. This is a doozy here, so bear with me. This is Star Wars Legends Empire Omnibus Volume 1. This collects Republic numbers 78 through 80, Purge, Seconds to Die, Purge, The Hidden Blade, Purge, The Tyrant's Fist, Darth Vader and the Last Command, Dark Times numbers 0 through 17, Dark Times, Out of the Wilderness, and Darth Vader and the Ghost Prison. It was written by Hayden Blackman, Alexander Freed, John Ostrander, and Randy Stradley. And there are way too many authors to give credit to all of them. There's 28 to be exact. So you can look it up on Wikipedia if you want to know all of the artists there. So yeah, definitely I sense a theme there with a lot of the same subtitles. So that's pretty fun. As always, all of the links are down below. So you can get your copy of any of these if you would like.
Perfect. Well, that was a kind of a stacked list here.
Yeah, definitely.
I know you have read Obi-Wan, and I read Obi-Wan. Has anyone else had a chance here in the show to talk about Obi-Wan yet?
I did. It was fantastic. A good start. I'm really interested to see where they take it. Like kind of the rest of the series. I know we're supposed to get like snapshots, I guess, through his life, but I dig it so far.
Exactly. As you can tell from the title, it kind of focuses on Obi-Wan as a youngling. And I did do during our last week's, we interviewed Ario, and as he said, he told me to do it, so I actually did it. I pulled up the Force theme of Obi-Wan and listened to that as I was reading the first couple of pages, and
nice.
I'll be damned, he was right. It was really effective. It was great.
That's awesome.
Listen, believe it or not, I have also read this comic.
Really?
What?
Yes, I have read it. Emma reminded me
proud.
that this came out today earlier, and I appreciated that. And it's really good. It's really good. I mean, it seems like they obviously marketed it around this time because the Obi-Wan show is coming out. And to get old Ben, man, like I wanted more of that.
Yes.
Real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was some good stuff for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of Obi-Wan, we have our Art of the Week here. I figured it should only come from Obi-Wan. So I'll give you guys a few seconds for the YouTube stream to catch up. But basically, this is the page of him kind of looking over Coruscant, trying to decide whether or not to jump, and he does. And I love the way Ario draws motion. We talked about this a lot during our Ario Anandito artist spotlight, but everything feels so kinetic, and also the colorist did a great job here. Carlos Lopez with the sort of Coruscant at night sort of vibe. It's very good.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I love that. You can almost see both of the thrill and abject terror in Obi-Wan's face too.
Yes,
that's a good way to describe it. So yeah, that's our Art of the Week. No community art this week. But definitely, if anybody has any Art of the Week, from Obi-Wan, certainly send it in for next week. We would love to see it.
Absolutely. So let's talk about some things from the group itself. So all of us read Obi-Wan. What else have we been getting into this glorious day of Star Wars? Anything that we're doing to catch up? I've been rewatching the movies or trying to get something new in our system.
I will jump in. I have been reading Star Wars: The Back to War, X-Wing. I think this is book number 4. Yeah, so some Legends love. I've been really digging this series. And actually, once I finish this book, I think I'm going to go back and start the X-Wing comics. So my plan is by the end of this week to get into that. So that's how I've celebrated most of today and yeah, the last couple of weeks.
Oh, well, we love to hear that you're gonna get into some X-Wing comics. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
I am personally between books right now. You know, I can represent the Living Force with our love of canon novels, and we are kind of between books right now because we're kind of between part 1 and part 2 of our Queen's Hope roundtable. And we're talking about that one more time next week. And the next book on our list is Brotherhood. And we've gotten our early copies of that. Our review team has got our early copies of that too. And I have a copy of it sitting right here. And I'm very close to starting it. I haven't cracked it open yet. But I try to crack them open a little bit closer to the roundtables because I tend to read really quickly. And I will forget literally everything, probably because I read so quickly. So I try to read them a little closer to the roundtables, but I'm really looking forward to it. It's already got kind of raving reviews, and I think the embargo was up yesterday, I want to say.
That's
so
correct, yeah.
Yeah.
And we got another excerpt today, I think, too. So.
Yep, we did. So, we should have all that stuff ready for you on the site and check it out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think everybody's got some Obi-Wan fever, that's for sure. I personally, speaking of Obi-Wan, I've got to start reading Kenobi here for our Kenobi week. It is still a big shame of mine that I haven't read it before.
You've never read it?
By
I didn't
John
know
Jackson
that.
Miller. Nope, never read it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've read between, like we said on Living Force a few weeks ago, I've read somewhere between 3 and 5 Legends books. I kind of forget if I've read a couple of them, but so yeah,
between 3 and 5 is 4. 4 is the number you're looking for.
Even 4.
Yeah. Just go with
3,
the safe
2, 5
number there. Yes.
There
exactly.
you go.
So,
yeah.
Gotta do that.
Kenobi's
and
a great
Brotherhood
one
too. So, yeah. I mean, we've all got Obi-Wan fever, and I can't blame anyone. He's a great looking man. He's an awesome Jedi. Tatooine is very hot.
Splash some water on your face and let's move on, Emma. Come on, let's go.
I know. What about you?
Just last week, I've surmounted and I finally gotten over poor Jacob here by one more step. I finished book 2 of the Alphabet Squadron, Shadows Fall.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Well done.
Nice.
Exactly.
Is this your first time going through these books?
First time, yes. I read the first one, listened to the first one, like when I started with this team like 2 years ago. So I did it. I think that was like the first like Legends book I got back into after a while. Our canon book I got into after being away for a bit.
Right.
Really enjoyed that. Went to a couple other things, and now it's coming back like, oh, wow, all these characters still fresh. And oh boy, there's a lot of drama here. So finished that one off. It was good. And now literally today on my way into work, I started Kenobi.
Nice.
There you go.
I started it.
Nice.
And
the audio, like on the way to work, am I assuming correctly by saying audiobook? Yeah.
That's the only way I absorb media is through audiobook. That's
Fair enough.
Only way to do it.
Fair enough.
And not to spoil anything, but there hasn't been a whole lot of Kenobi yet in the first like 2 hours that I've gone through.
I have heard that.
Yeah, it does start off with a lot of stuff, and you're like, where the hell is Kenobi? Like, what's this book even about? But I think it really does treat that story really well, because like when the hero does finally show up, it's like it feels like that sort of Western trope in which you don't meet the guy until you're pretty far into the movie. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's definitely Western vibes here. It's pretty good so far, but don't expect it to be all Obi-Wan all the time. That's what the television show's for.
We're not getting enough Obi-Wan lately. Darn.
I know.
Oh, you'll get plenty. You'll be pleased, I'm sure.
Good.
Absolutely. So now that we've kind of teased ground here a little bit, let's see about moving into our advertisement. Again, we will be having a Kenobi week later on this month once this show starts to hit. But first, let's get into some show ads, and then we'll talk about the day of the I almost said the day of the hour, but that almost makes no sense. But May the 4th. So roll that beautiful bean footage.
It's the best back cover since Star Wars Episode 1 hardcover novelization. The one with young Anakin, because on the back, just to remind y'all, is a full headshot of Watto.
It's so big.
I think I brought this up on one of the earliest episodes of the Living Force ever, and I thought I'd bring it back.
Oh my god, yeah.
Series and all of Legends. What do you guys think? Could it be the X-Wing series? Might just be the most romance-intensive series ever. And we're not just talking about the scene where Corran Horn describes his love affair with an otter. I mean, a Salonian that he hooked up with her and then he broke out in chives.
Yeah, not chives.
Not
chives.
What's it called? The bumps?
Hives, dude. Hives.
Chives
so
go under
close.
potato.
I'm hearing you say the same thing.
Chives,
What
what
is-
you put on the under potato. No C. Hives.
Hives.
Not chives.
What'd I say?
Chives.
It's not a very common story to approach. Yeah, again, drawing the complex family tree of Jango to clone identical son to clone all identical millions of sons, but they're a generation older. So then the son is kind of all Jango's equal, but then Boba is a generation younger, but then that clone's son is Boba's age, but then is Boba his dad or his nephew or his uncle or his cousin? It's like
All right, and we are back. And what would a May the 4th be without some news? And by some news, I mean an absolute
All of
metric
it.
ton of news.
Yes.
Which is
All the
shocking.
news.
It's shocking because we've got Celebration coming up. What is it, like 3 weeks away, something like that? So I was surprised that we got as much as we did. But I want to run everybody through the list of news. Let me get my pictures lined up here. So the first thing, I think the biggest thing of the day, was the brand new Obi-Wan trailer. And we also got a new poster, which I'll put up on the screen now so that we can take a look at it while we're talking about it. So, man, this trailer showed some new stuff, had some new voiceovers from Obi-Wan. We had a little bit more Owen speaking, and we definitely had some more Reva in there. So it definitely got me extra hyped. What were your all kind of reactions to that? I'll start with Timothy first.
Yeah, I watched it 3 times back to back to back, and then I had to go to a meeting, and I was very upset about it.
How dare they?
It's I know, right? It's so good. I love that they teased out a little bit more. I love that Owen is a grumpy pants. I'm here for it.
He's not just grumpy, dude. He is savage. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yo.
And
Yeah.
I gotta give some love to this poster. I need it like life size on my wall. I need it 8 times.
It's so good.
It's so good. So
like
good.
with Vader, like super tiny in there, but all you can really see is the red. Like if you didn't have the red lightsaber, you might not have been able to see what that was.
Oh my God! What if this is also like imagery for like Anakin is still in Obi-Wan's heart?
Oh, stop!
Oh my God, dude! Jesus, rip it out!
I just saw that. I'm so ready.
This is this does have some vibes, a little bit of like that, that famous original poster of the Darth Vader like shadow against the wall where it's Anakin standing there. You know what I'm talking about? It's like
yeah.
Most famous Star Wars poster ever. Of course, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's kind of have those vibes a little bit too. And like, I like that they're featuring Vader a little more prominently. Here closer to the end of the sort of marketing campaign for this, right? And I also would like to point out that I very, very much appreciate that they haven't ruined anything in regards to Vader. That is obviously the most hyped part of this entire show. So the fact that they haven't shown like bits and pieces of a huge scene with Vader in it I really appreciate that, and I respect that, and I hope they don't screw that up before we get there. I hope they don't show us like a scene or something, or like they show them fighting or something. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, but like I appreciate that we've gotten just sort of subtle nods, which we finally did this trailer too. So it's been good.
Exactly.
Caleb, what'd you think?
I thought it was a pretty good trailer.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to get to like too, not to like
That was a pretty good trailer.
Like,
What?
not to shit on
It
it
was
too much, not to
fine.
get onto it too bad, but like it was good. There's a lot of like fun stuff, but I feel like I've already seen like the first trailer got me way more excited than this second one has. I feel like
Yeah,
we've seen
that's
a
fair.
little bit of footage. Like I already know it's coming out. I've seen kind of what it's about, so I feel like we haven't gotten more. I feel like we did get to see, I think, Forlome or maybe something like Forlome in there, and that was pretty cool. But
Yeah, that
that
was
was cool.
interesting.
and I did, the suiting up was pretty cool, and
Yeah.
Owen being like, absolutely verbally destroying Obi-Wan. That was kind of fun.
That was funny.
But I said, I
man.
feel like I saw this trailer before. I didn't feel like this was a new trailer. I feel like it's a 1.5 trailer essentially.
Yeah, it was like it explained all the details from the first trailer that we had questions about. Like, is it Obi-Wan shooting the gun at the bounty hunter? Yes, it is. Here's the obvious camera angle that shows that, right? Are the Inquisitors hunting for Obi-Wan? Yes, that's happening. Here's the explanation for that, right? Like, it was like 1.5. It's a good way to look at that.
So
Yeah, for sure.
I'm still going to see the show.
Uncivilized with the gun.
You're still going to see it? Are you sure?
I'm still
I
going
don't
to
know.
see it. I think so.
I don't know. Maybe if I have time,
Depending on what else is on.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
my
man.
goodness, you're so crazy. Yeah, no, I echo everything you guys said. I literally cannot wait for this. It looks so good, and anything Deborah Chow does with Star Wars has literally been gold. And I'm sure this is going to be no different.
Yeah, it looks movie quality as all of these projects have looked, but it doesn't have a. There isn't a. I don't know if campy is the right word. There isn't a campy feel to this. A little bit of the Boba Fett marketing felt a little campy to me, and then that turned out to be kind of true of the show itself. I feel like so. This doesn't seem like it has that. It seems like this is going to be serious storytelling, which is what we want in regards to Kenobi, right? So
exactly.
Yeah, this is sick. I still can't believe we're getting 2 episodes, right? 2 episodes
That's
the
correct,
first
yeah.
day it launches. It's going to be at Celebration. A lot of us are going to be there on Pacific time at midnight. How are we going to go to sleep after watching this? It's going to be.
I don't know. I think I'm going to try, not to get too much on a Celebration tangent, but my strategy is to stay on Eastern time, actually. I don't know if that's smart, but we'll see.
It might be easier just to go to sleep and then wake up anticipating it so that you're
I think
already
so.
rested.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the best strategy is going to be, but this is the night before our panel at Celebration, so we need to have our wits about us.
And then the party.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see if we can talk Eric out of letting us. We're staying in the same house. We'll see if we can talk Eric out of letting us watch it the night. But I'm realistic. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we're just going to have to stay up to 4 a.m. It's going to be awful. Anyway, yeah.
All right. Well, so that was a great way to that was in the morning. So that was a great way to kick off May the 4th. Another thing that I honestly hadn't heard about was the new Disney Gallery for the Book of Boba Fett. That released today. It's 62 minutes, so yeah, pretty good length. I haven't gotten a chance to sit down and watch it yet, but I'm really excited. I saw a couple screenshots on Twitter that got me absolutely giddy, Mark Hamill and Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka with Grogu. It was just just amazing. It's so cool. Have you guys? Has anybody seen it yet?
I haven't watched it yet, but I'm always very excited for all the behind the scenes stuff. I'm not a movie making nerd or anything. I don't really know anything about movie making or really care about that much. I just love seeing how much everybody cares about the project. You know what I mean? It's just really it's really encouraging to see people value it and everything. You guys have heard me probably say before that every time I get one of the new movies that comes out, I always watch the documentary that comes with it first because it's just so fun watching everybody be this is awesome. We're so excited. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me, being able to work on this project. And it's a guy that painted a bush in the background, right? I love that. Everybody's just so enthusiastic and anybody that ever, it's just such a nice reminder that anybody that's oh, Disney hates Star Wars, they're trying to ruin it. That's just such a horse crap because you see the people that are doing the art and that's just so refreshing to see how humble everybody is about it. It's awesome. So I love these types of projects. Disney Gallery too, in and of itself, has been really fun. Those Mandalorian episodes were amazing. Getting to learn about what's the thing called? The big round
volume.
camera,
The
the
volume.
volume. Yeah, dude. So like, this will be exciting. I'm excited to watch this. I had no idea this was being made. Do you guys know about this?
I had no clue. Nope.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I had heard about it and I kept forgetting it. I was able to watch it and it is
Oh,
so
nice.
much worth the time.
Holy smokes! Really? Holy crap!
Yeah, it is. It's real good. They go through the entirety of the season, but they kind of give each episode their due. And
Cool.
like you said, Corey, there's a lot of love for the project. Like why Robert Rodriguez made sense to come to Boba Fett. Like, I mean, it was his childhood and getting to see him and Tamora Morrison just like vibing on set, like straight up. They would like work out together and then play guitar for like an hour afterwards and just chill. And I'm like, how dope. And then getting to see him and Ming-Na Wen, Tamora Morrison and Ming-Na, just like their chemistry, it was so electric. And we got that on the show. But you really see a lot of that mutual respect come through in this documentary. And there's a lot of really cool stuff. It's well worth the time and getting to see some of the technology and the shout outs that they give. They even like highlighted a couple people that they hired specifically to work on like some of the CG for Luke and things like that. Like they name these people and kind of bring them into the fold. And that's cool to get that kind of recognition.
Yeah, that's what these things do great is just recognizing the people behind the scenes that we would literally know nothing about if not for these types of projects. And I mean, as much as I love watching, like I'm a huge behind the scenes junkie, you know, I've got both of the archives books, like I'm super into that type of thing. So this is right up my alley. But honestly, if you told me that it was like 62 minutes of Ming-Na Wen talking about her love of Star Wars, I would be in anyway. So
Totally.
I can't wait to see her like talk about it because she's literally the most passionate Star Wars actor that I have ever seen talk about
She's
it.
So cool.
I cannot wait.
Really
I'm actually meeting her in August at a convention. And I literally can't wait to meet her because she has the sweetest personality. And I could listen to her talk about Star Wars all day, every day. And she like posts videos on Twitter of her like unboxing her little Black Series figure. And I'm like, that's what I would be like if I was in a Star Wars. You know? She's just super relatable. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Caleb, any thoughts?
I'm looking forward to it. I said I haven't gone through the second seasons of Mandalorians, but I remember watching like all of the first seasons making up, and I was like, oh wow, this is like almost as good as the show itself. So yeah, I just need to like sit down. I've gotten really behind on my Disney Plus watching, but with this I might be able to like sit down and hammer it out in just like one setting. I'm real excited.
Yeah, that last episode where like Jon Favreau had that like whole spiel about how scary the AI technology is. Like that was like, I was like, holy smokes, that was one of the best behind the scenes like monologues I've ever seen. It was really good. I love that.
Same thing with one that really sticks in my head is Dave Filoni in the first season one, where he was talking about
the relationship with Qui-Gon and everything.
They're all around the table talking, whatever, and they're all like giving really surface level comments. And exactly. And then he just like goes into this. You know, it's really just about this multi-generational. It's just like everyone just shuts the hell up and listens. He's like, what he said. You know, it's like, I know, it's incredible.
Awesome. So that was a fun surprise for those of us that didn't know about it. And speaking of fun surprises, this was insane. We had a little tease about this a few days ago. It's Behind the Mac, Skywalker Sound. It's a video on YouTube. It's about like 16 minutes. I've not had a chance to even like take a look at this, but I imagine it's some sort of a documentary about what they do at Skywalker Sound. Has anybody got the chance to see this yet?
I saw like 3 minutes. I saw the first 3 minutes of it before work called me away and I had to do actual job. It was, and that's essentially what it is. They're sitting down with and kind of talking about the Foley effects, and you see a lot of sound bars there. It's fascinating. Like, you know, and just within the first 3 minutes, I was like, oh, this is going to be something that it's going to be really fun to watch. They talk about the Foley effects and like, you know, how they're adding different effects together to make all the sounds. Like, you know, the Razor Crest, you know, they talk about, and this is the Razor Crest sound of, you know, from the Mandalorian ship. And you gotta stop and think like, they didn't just go out and put a mic in front of the Razor Crest, you know. They had to create that sound from a composite of maybe even they might have said it eventually later, but they didn't mention. But you know, it's got to be at least like 3 or 4 different sounds that they have to combine together. You know, like an old Buick, like a sheet of metal just boiling in the wind, that sort of thing. Like it's fascinating. I love
Yeah.
that sort of Foley effects and
That's
looking
yeah,
behind
that stuff
the scenes.
that stuff has always been really big in the Star Wars storytelling too. Like I remember seeing that in the old like original, the version of this that we had that came on like the DVDs back in the day, like the OT and like getting the blaster. I remember seeing it specifically about like the blaster sound effects. Have you guys ever seen that where you like flicks the
I have
right?
I'm seeing that in my mind's eye right now.
yeah,
where they
exactly. Yeah. Like it was so, and they just like walked around with mics on like cassette tapes. That's how they made all these insane sounds in the
just
'70s.
hit high tension wires with like a ball peen hammer.
Yeah, it was crazy, dude. So like this is what that has evolved into, and it's so crazy that even in the modern age, Star Wars just continues to push like movie making forward in new and unique ways. It's so fun. I love this stuff, even though it's all way over my head. It's still really fun to follow along.
Yeah, there was a clip in there, and I can't remember who it was, but they mentioned like getting access to it, and there are 750 like thousand files, audio files
God.
that make up Star Wars. And
Wow.
just like having the complete keys to the kingdom and being able to go in and see all the stuff that they had originally recorded like back in the 70s, like it's insane. But like you have access to all of it at your hands now. And especially with, this being like kind of a Mac focus, like being able to access it all and pulling from, this massive, essentially supercomputer. They've got all these decks set up like in their basement essentially. And it's cool that they can do that kind of stuff. That it's as fast as it is, and it's so much easier than it used to be, kind of a thing. So
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I put a link to it in the description, so definitely check that out. I can't wait to watch it myself. Another release today, we didn't know about this, but it's still cool anyways. If you've been playing Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga obsessively like I have, and you have the deluxe version, you might have noticed that you have some new characters. So there was 2 new character packs released in the game today. There was a Mando Season 2 pack. It includes Ahsoka Tano, Boba Fett, Bo-Katan, Fennec Shand, and Moff Gideon. And there was also a Bad Batch pack, which includes Hunter, Wrecker, Tech, Crosshair, and Echo. Or if
Wait, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, do it.
Okay, you knew where I was going? Or if I'm Omega,
Yes.
it's Hunter, Wrecker, Tick, Crosshair, and Echo.
That's
Very
so
good.
good. Emma. That's
Yes.
so good.
If you didn't do it, I was going to try it. So I'm glad you did.
I knew it. Yeah. So love that. Yeah, and then so that was for that video game, and then next up is just a big ol' list of merch announcements, which we'll run through super quick. There was a bunch of Black Series and Vintage Collection figures announced today, like too many to show off on stream. But if you want to see the full list, it's on Hasbro Pulse's Twitter feed. Another big thing, like these are huge with a lot of people on our staff. I knew about them. I just didn't know they were a big thing. They're these planet mugs from Shop Disney and Starbucks. And they've already had like a bunch of planets before, and now they're adding 3 new ones: Naboo, Octo, and Navarro. And I believe those went up for order today. And like when I googled what these were, these go for an insane amount of money, like on the secondary market. Like the older ones, like I'm talking like $900 for 6 of them.
Wait,
Like
wow.
it was wild. So if you
they're
want these,
only
get them
released
now.
they're only released on May 4th, right? Like this, I think this is the
I
3rd
believe
year that
so,
they've done
yeah.
it. Yeah, so that's wild.
They're gorgeous too. I mean, I love that Octo one. Like if I drank coffee, I would almost certainly get that. It's gorgeous. They all are. The Bat 2 one that they released like a year ago or something like that was really cool as well. So yeah, definitely want to bring that to everybody's attention. Because it seems like they're super expensive if you don't get them right away. Some more Disney Parks stuff. We have new Legacy lightsabers, 2 new ones to be exact. We have an Asajj Ventress one, and this one is called the Refocused one. And it's actually inspired, this is very cool, by Dark Disciple concept art. Isn't this amazing, you guys? It's the yellow saber. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's actually it's the same hilt as the Darth Maul one that he used in season 7. They are selling it now as Darth Vader's, but it has a red blade, and then this one has the yellow blade. So pretty neat. And then the second one, which is it's totally out of left field. I don't know where this came from. It's Luminara Unduli's lightsaber. So yeah, it's actually really clean. I don't know if I've seen it up close before, but it's got like that gold thing on the bottom. It kind of reminds me a tiny bit of Mace Windu's, those gold accents.
Yeah, it does. It does kind of look like that a little bit. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I was about to say Luminara, everyone's seventh favorite Jedi Master, right?
Exactly.
She is the worst in the Clone Wars. Every episode that she shows up in, you're like, I hate this master. She literally lacks any emotions whatsoever.
Exactly. I do not like her whatsoever. So this was an interesting choice for a lightsaber, but I mean, honestly, like, these two lightsabers are, it's fine that they exist. I don't think I would ever buy them, to be honest. But one thing that interested me a lot was that they're changing from the like grayish, dark gray, cases to these white cases. I don't know if this is just for May the 4th, but I found that was an interesting development if you are into Galaxy's Edge collecting.
Yeah.
And another sort of legacy lightsaber type of thing. This is amazing, and I had to restrain myself. It's these Ahsoka Tano legacy lightsaber limited edition. They come in a wooden box.
That just sounds expensive.
Yes, they were $400. They sold out very quickly.
Gorgeous.
They're absolutely gorgeous. It's her Rebels sabers, I should say. They were limited to like 2,000 or something like that. The box is made of wood, and it's decorated in Arabesh and symbols from the world between worlds. It's like super detailed. Wow. And when you open the box, it plays sound. I don't remember what sound it makes, but it's very cool. It sold out very quickly. Yeah. So if you're watching this now and you want it, I'm so sorry. But that was just like a cool, fun little May the 4th thing. And now some more Kenobi news. And I wrote specifically in the show notes, bad news for Emma's wallet, because it's true. They released this thing. It's called Obi-Wan Wednesdays, and it's a product program that's running from May 25th to June 29th. And basically, every Wednesday, they're going to release, do like a big drop of new merch for the Obi-Wan show. So they listed brands like Lego and Funko. It's just gonna be dangerous. So
rest in peace, dollar bills.
Yes, exactly. And they actually gave us our first look at two of the big pieces of merchandise from this initiative. One of them is a Force FX lightsaber inspired by Obi-Wan's lightsaber as seen in the show. So I have a picture of that up right now. It comes with the stand. Like, I got the Force FX dark saber, and it comes with like the exact same stand. The Force FX ones also come with a blade. And honestly, like, his lightsaber, this is the first time we're getting a close look at what it's going to look like in the show, and it looks quite a bit different to me, like kind of darker in a way. I don't know if you guys see that.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. I mean, this is one of my favorite lightsabers of all time.
He got a tactical paint job.
Yeah.
Tactical paint job. I like big fan of the stand. Are these, I don't know much about these lightsabers. I've always loved, you guys know I don't collect anything, and I actively crap on anyone who does. Yes. that's not entirely true. I just discourage, anyway, this, I don't know much about these, but I love these lightsabers. Do they all come with these stands like this? Or is this new?
They all come with stands. I don't know if they come with these exact stands. I know that
because that stand is
it's
sexy.
Very nice.
Like, it's sleek, man. I really like that.
The dark saber one came with that. I think that like the pieces that hold the bottom of the saber up is custom fitted to whatever saber it comes with.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're very nice, and they're hefty too. Like they are metal, so
yeah, they have that
it's
like
definitely worth the price tag if you want it.
Like that imperial lighting in the background or whatever.
Yes.
Like that design is so neat.
It's very
cool. The Force FX lightsaber, they have that sort of minimalist appeal with decor that I could get behind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you put one or two on a shelf, and it's not overwhelming. It's just a subtle, but they're also like really official and collectors looking, and they have weight to them, and they feel really cool. Like, I love these. I remember I was in line for Force Awakens, and they gave away a Kylo Ren one, like in the line at the movie
Kylo
theater
Ren
I
one
was
is
at.
nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they had like a competition with all of us. I don't remember what we had to do. They like gave us, it was like a drawing or something like that, and like we could all sign up, and they gave it away while we were waiting in line for the movie to go in the theater and stuff. But these are awesome. I love these. Obi-Wan. This is not the first Obi-Wan that we've ever had, though, right? I mean, we've had multiple
No.
of these at this point.
This is
I don't know
specifically
which-
the movie one for
Yeah.
the show. And just so you know, it looks like it is set to ship. I just looked it up on the article here. Spring of 2023.
Okay, so yeah, a bit of a ways out. And I believe the announcement said that for the Obi-Wan Wednesdays, everything should be up for pre-order on the following day, so the Thursday. So
Okay.
you can probably order this tomorrow if you're listening or watching live. If you are listening to this later, you can probably pre-order it now. So I would definitely recommend it. Little pro tip for you guys. So I have one Force Effects lightsaber, and I have one Legacy lightsaber, and then one that I built at Galaxy's Edge. Pro tip, they feel exactly the same, and they look exactly the same, but the Galaxy's Edge ones tend to be cheaper if you happen to be there. It doesn't come with a blade, but all the blades are compatible with every single hilt, so you don't have to buy a new blade every time. So yeah, just a little pro tip for everybody. I don't know if they'll do a Kenobi one at Galaxy's Edge, but we'll see. So that was exciting. And then last piece of news here is another merch drop. This is very cool. A new Black Series Darth Vader helmet based on the helmet's appearance in the show. And this is really cool because it comes apart in 3 pieces, like Vader's. Well, not exactly like it does, but you can take off like the top like crown part and then the bottom like chin part. It's really, really neat, and it looks cool.
I love the red kind of eyes. It's like
Yes.
it's really close to his Rebels look. Like
Very
a
much so.
combo
It is.
between like Rogue One and Rebels. It's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tyler
This,
said in the chat he's getting it.
Nice. The neck looks kind of fat to me.
A little bit.
I think it might be it's maybe an angle thing. Like maybe we're supposed to look down on it. Yeah. something
Okay,
like
yeah,
that.
I gotcha. It looks like
Sure.
a bulldog a little
You
bit.
don't want it
know
to
what I'm saying?
press too hard onto his burns. You got a little bit of breathing
Yeah.
room, right?
He's been in the
He's gonna
gym. Yeah.
He's got a breathing room for his gigantic thyroid goiter that he has.
He's
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. He's got a condition, man.
Or he's like
Thyroid.
he's like an NFL linebacker with like the chunkiest neck.
Like at
Been
least he
doing a lot
has a
of
neck, you know.
steroids. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's lucky to have that at least. I mean, he has barely anything else left. So yeah, that was all the news. I'm sure I missed something because there was a lot of news throughout the day, but that was all the big stuff and some merch in there because we all know that I have a problem and I need to.
So
I need
you
to throw that in there.
bragged.
You need to justify it.
That's right.
A little
That's
bit, a
right.
little bit.
You bragged earlier. You had self control though, tonight. And that's good. That's good.
I did,
you know?
yeah. I shared with in our Slack channel that I spent $0 today, which is a first for me. I've gotten the last 3 May the 4th Lego promotions.
Yeah.
So if that says anything, that's at least 3 years in a row that I've spent money on this day. So
Well,
not today, not today.
shipping delays do help the the excess spenders because
true,
when they're not
yeah.
releasing a product until 2023, it's easier to say, yeah, maybe I'll get this later.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true. I
Yeah.
really wanted the Lego promo for May the 4th. They gave you a free Aunt Beru's kitchen set in
Oh yeah,
with a purchase of
Yeah.
you had to buy $160 worth of Lego, and it used to be
Wow.
$75, and I could justify
What's that, like-
$75 for a
that's
free
like half
set,
a
but-
Lego set nowadays, though.
That's true. Lego is rising in price, so.
Well, listen, I wanted to speaking of May the 4th stuff, I wanted to ask you guys like it's finally super trendy to have May the 4th stuff. Like everybody
Yes.
does it. Every company what were some of the funniest, goofiest things that you saw like online today? I think my favorite that I saw so far, Eric shared it with us, was the Microsoft Xbox Twitter account tweeted out a picture
Yes.
of an Xbox. You guys see that? It was an Xbox, the boxy Xbox with legs coming out of it, and it said "gonk." And I was like, this is kind of multiple layers deep, and I really appreciate that. Did you
Yeah.
guys see any good ones
It's
today?
self-deprecating, yeah. I saw this really awesome like Photoshop of a bunch of dogs into a Star Wars poster. I really enjoyed that as both a dog lover and a Star Wars lover. So, and it was actually
Nice,
promoting
nice.
a product too. I can't remember what it was.
Was it
some-
BarkBox? Is that
I
is
think
it the
so,
ad that?
yeah.
Yeah. BarkBox
it's
is a
cool.
fun product. We've used it. You know, I have two dogs, Kylo and Ray, since you know it's Star Wars theme. We can talk about that.
Yeah,
we use BarkBox and we literally canceled it this month because we're about to
No.
move. And I'm like so pissed because like, I'm not gonna get the Star Wars stuff. And I don't know if
Well-
you can go back and buy
Well, and
buy
today,
the box by itself.
Today, if you buy the box, so there's two different boxes. I looked into this. I do not have a dog, just so everybody knows, but but I do have like my neighbors have two dogs, and we like have them over for the weekend or whatever. Like, you know, we have like joint custody basically. And so I was looking into the boxes, and there's two different boxes. There's a light side and the bark side. You know.
No.
Yeah. And so if you buy them like today, I think this is their promotion. If you buy like 6 months in advance, they'll give you both of the boxes for free.
Wow.
So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it's pretty
Nice.
neat. There's a lot of
We
good
have-
sales today. If
Yeah.
you're watching us live, definitely check those out before they end. There's some really nice sales, and could certainly get you into some trouble.
That's right.
But yeah, that was my favorite May the 4th adjacent thing. I mean, a lot of sports teams did some like funny, you know, photoshops and stuff like that, which I really appreciated. Like, I got an ESPN alert on my phone. It was like, May the 4th be with you. I was like, wow. We're to the point where like ESPN is telling their followers like, May the
Yeah.
4th be with you. This is so cool.
It's a
Love
big
it.
deal. It's a big deal. I mean, like, you know, we're all of the generation in which it was not cool to be a Star Wars fan,
Yeah.
like as a prequel kid. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
everybody's parents were crapping all over the prequels about how awful they were. All the Star Wars fans of that age were, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, there was a toxic time
It was
period. I feel like
It's a
in
dark
there, right?
time.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a dark time, and it's finally, and it's refreshing to see that that the sequel trilogy, even with the criticism that the loud minority has had about it, has not resulted in that. You know what I mean? Like, we're still, you know, ESPN is tweeting about Star Wars, right? Like, it didn't
Yeah.
ruin it, contrary to what the angry neckbeards of the internet have said.
Right. And we need to look back on this and say the same thing. Like, this will happen with the sequels. You know, there's a lot of hate towards them right
Yeah.
now, but they're going to become beloved like the prequels are right now.
They are going to
Yeah.
be literally meme generating machines.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, and I
we
remember-
won't
I
see it
remember-
now,
Continue
but
to do
eventually.
Yeah,
That's
I remember
right.
in the Discord somebody was talking about like their students at school or something like we're wishing the teachers happy Star Wars Day and stuff like that. My therapist today when I walked in, he was like, "Hey, it's a big day for you. Happy Star Wars Day." And I was like,
Aw,
Nice.
"This
I
is
love
great."
that.
I
And
know.
then
It's very
my-
mainstream.
Yeah, my wife teaches 4th grade, and she has decided she's getting slowly maybe into Star Wars a little bit. She had her kids do all these like worksheets, and so she was calling me all day as these kids came up with questions. And
Yeah.
shout out to Mr. Johnson if you're out there and listening.
Yeah.
Got to spread some Utini love today, and
Sure.
it was fun, like to see.
It
like,
is
these
fun.
kids
It
and
is fun. I mean-
teachers and adults interacting with them, and it's like, man,
Yeah.
I wish I had this growing up.
It's a
And
shame.
Yeah,
cool
me
that
too. I mean,
it's
it's
for
like
everybody.
it's like all of society was talking about Star Wars today, and that's cool.
Mhm.
Like I definitely answered a lot of questions about Star Wars today at work, and I was working in the hospital today, and a lot of people were asking, "Hey, it's Happy Star Wars Day. What's your, you know, you have a what's that? Don't you do like a Star Wars company thing or something like that?" And you know, I got a lot of questions about that today, and we got to talking about the movies and which are the best ones and what should you watch. I had multiple people be like, "Yeah, you know what? I need to go back and watch those. I'm gonna watch one this weekend. Which one should I watch?" Like that happened multiple times today.
Yes.
So
Aw.
I love
love to
that.
hear
I love
that.
that. It's fun. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's fun. I mean, I've said 1,000 times that nothing is there's no like universe that is multi-generational as Star Wars is. So like it's really cool to
Absolutely.
see that our culture as a large has totally adopted this. It's fun. I love it.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
I got a text this morning from my grandfather. He's like mid to late 70s, and he sent a dancing Yoda gif and said "Happy Star Wars Day." And I was like, "Oh my god."
That's great.
amazing.
I'm excited that this year I just wore my this Star Wars Mandalorian shirt. Next year I might wear my Lando cape. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
Nice. There you
I do
go.
the ante.
I do have to show off. You know, my wife did wear for those on the live stream. Let me see if I can get this up here. These
If you hold 'em up there 1
guys
second, I'll get you in a single cam. All right.
all day today, which for those audio
They're so
listeners,
awesome.
these are
They're so
Lego
cool.
lightsaber earrings. So it's a little
Nice.
Lego lightsaber with an orange lightsaber, which fun fact, I actually do have an orange lightsaber, not from any of the official ones, but from what's the big unofficial one?
Oh, like
Blade
Ultra Sabers.
Ultra Saber,
yeah.
yes. And I got
Yeah.
mine's in orange. Like this was like even before episode 7 came out. So this is over like 6 years ago. So this was before orange sabers were even in a form of canon. So she's got that to support me.
There you
Nice,
go.
nice.
And, there's
Beautiful.
some
And
really,
Ray.
There's some really cool Star Wars jewelry out there, like for from both like fan creators and from official companies too. Like I've been looking for some. I've been in the market for some Star Wars jewelry for Celebration, and I was shocked at how many options there were. It never used to be like that.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. By the way, if you're a woman listening to this, or if you're anybody listening to this, and you want some nice earrings, Girls Crew, that's the website. Absolutely gorgeous earrings. I got some for Celebration. They're minimalist. You can't really tell that they're Star Wars, but if you know about Star Wars, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's an X-wing, or whatever it is.
Sweet.
Nice.
Awesome. So, just to kind of round us down here, one more note about the Obi-Wan comic. Obviously, we talk comics here. This is a very non-comics focused episode, but that's okay. It's a special occasion. Just to kind of bring it back around. Obviously, it's a big deal. This Obi-Wan comic being with coinciding with the release of the show, and I wanted to actually highlight something that I saw on Twitter. There is a behind the panel article on StarWars.com featuring friend of the show, Ario Anandito. And in that article, he kind of talks about his process going, through the pages, and it also shows some concepts, kind of like not the finished product, but something like what you would see in the middle of his process. It was very fascinating to see. And I put the link to that in the description below if you'd like to see that. And I wanted to ask one more question about that issue, just so that we can, give our comics friends the love that they want. Where do you expect this series to go? Obviously, this first issue, without spoiling anything, this first issue, we framed it with old Ben writing in his journals. And in the previews, this is not a spoiler, it was in the previews and stuff. We see Obi-Wan as a little kid at the temple. Where do you think that this is going to go next? Do you think it's going to kind of progress, with him as he ages, or do you think it's going to be, mostly from his younger days? What do you guys think? I'll start with Timothy.
I'm hoping that it kind of jumps around a bit. I'm kind of hit or miss, or these have been kind of hit or miss for me. The little connective tissues on whether they eventually tie together. Or if it's like a true limited series, and does it connect to the larger project that is coming, which is the show. So I don't know. I'm hopeful. I'm optimistically hopeful that I would like to see some snippets, and if they tie them together, that'd be cool in some way, even if it's just characters popping up here and there. I don't know. I'm open.
Cool. Caleb, anything?
I think it's definitely going to be progressing. So I think, every issue will be seeing Obi-Wan getting older and older. But I don't think we'll see much of a tie-in between this one and the television show. I don't think we're going to be seeing anything like that. They might be laying seeds that they might, reap in the next, 2 years over like other comics and other stories. But I don't think we'll be seeing anything of that's happening here in the television show. I don't think they want to try to split the fan base quite that much and force people to read comics, unfortunately.
Yeah, Justin Krieger, I think, said it nicely in the chat. He said, I think it's going to be mostly snapshots and maybe a B-plot in the present Tatooine Obi-Wan. I think that's a pretty good assessment. Like, it seems like we're going to get a little bit of this reminiscent old Ben, which I'm all about. Like, we really don't have enough old Ben in any literature. Like even the show is not going to touch on that, obviously, right? So, I think it's exciting to get some of that, It looks like the TV show has essentially filled in that story that there was a lot of action in his life, like when he was a little younger on Tatooine, when he first was there for a little while, right? But
he actually got off planet.
Exactly, that clearly died down for a long time, right? So what was he doing in those long moments of silence, right? I mean, it's been kind of established in canon, I guess. I don't know if that is canon now. It might be Legends that I'm thinking of, that he got connected with, Qui-Gon and figured all that out, right? So I don't know if that's ever going to be explored in the show or if we're going to see that somewhere else, or I don't know. I'm excited for, for that. That was a big part of the Legends book, was him trying to talk to Qui-Gon. So we'll see if that ever happens in the show. I don't know.
I think
I'd
that
love
was
to
in
see that.
from a certain point of view. I think that was in him talking to Qui-Gon there.
Oh, that might have been. It does sound familiar to me, and given how little Legends I've read, it's very possible that it's canon now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
There's a couple
I
of those
agree with you
stories
guys.
that leak over a lot. It's hard to keep them straight.
Yeah,
Kenobi, I feel like, is one of them.
Yeah, I can definitely sense that in a few different areas for sure. But yeah, I agree with you guys that I'm not sure that they gave the creators enough information for it to tie in, too much with the show. But maybe they gave them a little bit just to figure it out. But,
Maybe.
Either way, I think it's going to be interesting. I agree. We need more old Ben and.
Yeah. How long is this run? This is a mini series, right? It's just going
5
for
issues.
5 issues.
5 issues.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and the next one doesn't come out for a while either, right? It's not until June, I
That's
think. Is that what it
correct.
said?
June, I believe. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
but
looks
I
like
like to
Tyler
throw in an
said
extra
he-
month just because there's usually some publishing delays as of recently.
Yeah, it seems like Tyler said that, Qui-Gon looks to be on the issue or the cover for issue 2, and then the
Oh.
clones maybe for 3, Caleb, is that right?
I think so. Yeah.
That's
Interesting.
cool.
Very cool. Very cool. So one more question for everybody before we get on out of here. Just sort of a general question. In a year from now, May 4th, 2023. Pretty sure that might be my graduation date. That's scary. We won't talk about that. Anyways, by that
Graduated
time,
medical school on May 4th. You guys
That's
remember
so
that?
cool.
Sorry,
I hope-
sorry to interrupt.
I do
know.
remember that. You wore your Star Wars shirt under your.
I did. I did.
yeah,
Against
I
the
totally
rules. They
remember
told us
that.
we had to wear shirts and ties, and I said, "Screw you guys! I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt. I'm a doctor."
Yeah, it's
now."
like, what are you
And,
gonna do? Take away my degree?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, man,
yeah, it's peak
no,
peak
no, I
peak
hope-
time for graduations, though, man. It really is.
Yeah,
a lot of
for
people
sure.
graduate May 4th. That's funny.
After the show, I'm definitely gonna look up to see if it's scheduled yet, because that would be awesome.
That would be cool.
But yeah, so looking a year ahead, what are we most excited about? And I feel like Celebration's certainly the easy answer for
Yeah.
3 of us up here. So let's exclude Celebration.
Yeah, take
and
that off the
talk about
table.
what we're most
Listen,
excited for.
I have an obvious answer for this one. I think it's films is
Yeah.
the next thing. Like I am, if I remember it correctly and I understand how the schedule is laid out correctly, we're still missing 1 or 2 big giant panels of Celebration. I'm pretty sure. Like I'm pretty sure they
I
haven't.
believe you're
There are
right, yeah.
gaps in the schedule, right? And the only reason that of the stuff that they've already talked about that they haven't said yet that could maybe fill a gigantic gap is the sudden announcement that they're going to show a teaser trailer for a new film. Like that could maybe happen at Celebration, although it still feels like it'd be a bit of a stretch based on what the next movies are coming out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it seems like it's still too far away because it's going to be 24. Isn't that what they said? The next thing is going to be at the earliest.
That was Patty Jenkins' Rogue
That's-
Squadron, right?
I
Yeah,
thought
and that was
in
still.
23 unless they moved it.
Is it 23? I don't know. At 23 or 24, but it's still almost seems like it's too far away this year in a month for us to see anything about it, right? Especially with all that stuff
Yeah.
we heard about Patty Jenkins and stuff.
Google is saying December 22nd, 2023. But that's
23. So if
that's
that's
like a
the
rough
case,
estimate.
if that's the case, then next May 4th is peak time to show a new film, and I think that's a good enough time. I think what is that? 3 years?
Yeah.
2 years? 3 years. 3 years from the last film. I think that's a good enough time to let us all have some palate cleansers of a bunch of good books. And, we're not thinking about movies. We're thinking about TV shows and everything that has been. Like, we've had a nice little break here. And, I'm still not there yet. I'm still not I'm waiting for the next film. I'm not there yet, right? I can sense that I'm getting there. You know what I mean? I can sense that I'm almost I don't know if you should say it like this, but I'm going to say it anyway, almost over a little bit of the trauma that was the Rise of Skywalker in a lot of ways, right? And not just the film itself and what I personally felt about it or whatever, but the public reaction and
the backlash.
Oh yeah,
The
whether you liked it or not,
backlash
there was trauma everywhere. Yeah.
It was hard to be a Star Wars fan during that time because nobody could shut the hell up about how awful it was, and that is hard. It's hard to be a fan in a community of people that only want to talk negative about something, right? So I'm still not over that yet, as goofy as that sounds. Like, I'm getting there. And I think 3 years is enough time for culture and society to forget, to forget what it was like.
And trust me, it's been a long 3 years.
Yeah, it has. But I think that's enough time to give everybody a break and to start fresh in a lot of ways. I hope and pray that Lucasfilm and Star Wars doesn't make the same mistakes that they made the first time with the lack of plan and those sorts of things. And it seems like it would be prudent for them to learn those lessons. So maybe they did. And 3 years seems like enough time to kind of start that over. So that's my answer. Films, I think, is next May 4th. I think we might get something big in regards to films, whether that's the announcement of a new film or the first big teaser trailer for a new film, or no one has said that they took Rian Johnson's trilogy off the table yet, so maybe that's what they'll take. Maybe they'll announce that, hey, this thing is still here. I gotta hope so. Gotta hope so. Knives Out. If you have any doubts about Rian Johnson, go watch Knives Out because
I know Last Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie. Knives Out, so good. Can we please give Rian Johnson his whole trilogy, or can we please just make sure that it's not, that it hasn't been taken away from him? Can we just get some confirmation, please? I honestly get stressed out about it because we haven't heard anything about it since it was announced, and that was quite a while ago.
I know, yeah, but KK and Rian Johnson are still good friends. That is very public. So
and his info is still up on the website, so that's also
it is. Exactly. It is. It's on StarWars.com. It still says things on StarWars.com about that. So I don't know, man. We'll see.
Unlike the Game of Thrones guys, that one was axed.
Yeah.
I tell you what, man. Next year, May will be the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi.
Oh, that's
so
right.
I am really looking forward to the From a Certain Point of View book. And I'm also
that's going to be announced soon.
It's also perfect timing for the Star Wars mainline to have run its course because we're filling in this time between Empire and Return of the Jedi. So I'm really hoping to see some announcements maybe of what's coming next. If we continue that story, Shattered Empire is probably my favorite miniseries that has come out of all this. And it was at the beginning of Marvel taking it back over and The Force Awakens and all that. But I'm really wanting to see some continuation there and to kind of finally put kind of the OT to bed a little bit. I want to see what comes next. And then also,
trilogy, baby. Give me some of that. Please fill in the gap between Rache and Force Awakens. That era is still hugely ripe for the taking. I hope we get some of that eventually.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And I'm also hoping at Celebration that we get some kind of Fallen Order 2 announcement or something.
Yes,
I think we're long overdue.
Yeah.
And I would love to see that be one of the other big panels and to be talking about that.
I completely agree.
Yeah. That can be good. I'd still be a little surprised if that was the secret panel. You know what I mean? A video game. It seems like that would be, but maybe
it was almost Game of the Year though. I mean, it's good.
That's true.
A lot of people were really pleasantly surprised by how good it was, and maybe it's just they have a lack of other big things to announce.
Yeah, that could be it. It's all relative.
And that's my thing. I think next year, I will be able to make it. I'm not making it to Celebration this year, but I think next year I might be able, since now that I know we might have a home there, for lack of a better term, I think I'll plan out a lot more to see if I can try to make it to next year's Celebration. Yep. That'd be a lot of fun, especially if it's in Orlando, because that's a lot closer for me.
Yeah, and the theory is they're probably going to do the alternating D23. Is that every year? Or is that what I'm thinking of? Or there's one other one.
That's right.
I think so. Yeah.
The theory that is that they're going to alternate the two big conventions, and I think D23 is the one that I'm thinking of that they're talking about alternating, which is surprising to me because that is not nearly as big of a event as Celebration is. But I don't know. There's rumors that maybe Disney will actually take over production of Celebration instead of Reed Pop, which I welcome with open arms.
Yeah,
So-
I think a lot of people certainly.
Literally everybody. But anyway,
but also thank you
regardless
for giving us a booth, though. So
Yes.
that's right.
So I said,
Yes.
hopefully next year I'll be able to go to Celebration. But I think over the next year and maybe next year, so we'll May the 4th, I think we're going to be seeing a lot more video game news. Like, we definitely, we got a lot of really good positive hype out of the Lego Star Wars one. But I think
That's true.
they've announced that they are announcing a bunch of other games, like the strategy game that they're working on, a couple mobile games. The Fallen Order 2 is happening at some point. Eclipse is not happening. But there's a couple of other like
official.
No, it's not
not-
official,
it's
but
not
there's no
official.
way
It's
it's
not
actually
anytime
happening.
soon.
there's no way it's actually happening. They got
There's no
that
way.
they're getting that was it Skydance, like the lady who did a lot of the Uncharted thing. So we might
Yeah.
actually get Star Wars 1313 2.0 eventually. I think over the next year, I don't think we're going to see huge releases, but I think we're going to see huge trailer
Yeah.
drops and actual see gameplay over the next
Yeah.
year
I
and a
am,
half.
I am just ready for the next golden age of Star Wars games where we get a new Star Wars game every 3 months. like 2003 to 2006.
That PlayStation 2 era was just like peak.
PlayStation 2, God, it was so good. It was
It's
so
so
I
good.
wish
good.
I wish I was playing video games at that time, because that seems like the time to be playing.
Listen,
video
a
games.
lot of those games are actually still available. And when I got a PS5 last week, I've been trying to get one for months, and I finally got one. And when I wasn't like utterly crapping on everything that is the design of the PS5, I did like go digging through their library and everything, and like looking at. I searched for Star Wars just to see what was available, and there's a shocking amount of old games that they've kind of.
Oh yeah.
They've updated and stuff on the PlayStation. I downloaded Bounty Hunter. Like I got it for like $3
I was about to say,
and started
look,
playing
like
that.
this is nowhere like I'm not a completionist, but these are all the games that came out like that I, as a casual-ish Star Wars fan, had during the PS2 era. That's 7 games that were all
I
like
know that's
double
crazy.
A or
That's
triple A
insane.
quality.
You
Yes,
can't
those are all
fathom
AAA
that
quality
in this
games.
Day and age.
I know.
Exactly.
All
And
of
that was
those
just the PS2 games, not even including like the PC
Yeah.
exclusives, like Jedi Outcast and all like that.
And the
Empire
Obi-Wan
War.
game, that was an Xbox one, I think.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
KOTOR 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, speaking of as we kind of wrapping up here, speaking of the Kenobi game, we're gonna try to find it. Wes told us a day or two ago that he was going on an epic adventure to try to find it for our Kenobi week coverage
Wow.
coming up here in a couple weeks. Like he went home, I think tonight actually, to get his old Xbox. He's gonna see if he can get it working and maybe
my
live stream,
God.
which would be wild. So we'll see if it happens. The old Xbox are real prone to the Red Ring of Death, so he's hoping it still works. He wasn't really sure, so we'll see. That would be crazy
Wow.
if he can get that ding running.
That would be, yeah, that would be for sure. Well,
Get the
I
can of
guess-
air out.
I guess
That's
to,
right.
for me, like I personally, I hate to sound selfish because we haven't even gotten Phase 2 yet, like at all. But I'm really interested to hear what Phase 3 is going to be about of the High Republic.
Oh yeah.
I
That's a
can't
good
wait
one,
to hear
too.
what that's all about. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we're going to be picking up where Phase 1 left off. I'm just like so curious to see what happens with these characters and stuff like that. So I hope by this time, if it's about a year long, maybe we'll get something by this time. I could certainly see that happening. But my non-selfish, well, it's still partially selfish, but my less selfish answer would be some post-Rise of Skywalker content. Just like anything. I will take anything. I want to know what Rey's up to. I want to know what Finn and Poe are up to. I want to know what Rose is up to. What is the state of the galaxy after that? Like, that was a big event just to
I know.
leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, what is the state of the Jedi, of the Force? Like, I have so many questions about this era, and I hope that we can start to address that, whether that's in books and comics and TV shows, in a newspaper article. It doesn't matter to me.
I have very little hope.
Same. I think it's gonna be quite a
Very-
while. Yeah.
Very little hope. I think they're afraid of touching that era. I think they will
Yeah.
be probably
Which
for
is
a
too bad.
decade or something crazy.
It's too bad.
No.
Like, so many people like so strongly hated Tross, and then that leaves people like
Yeah.
me that like actually kind of liked it. I just didn't agree with some of the decisions.
Right.
Like,
and even if
sitting
you
here
don't
in
like the
corner,
movie, like even if you didn't like the film, like I think not really many people disagree that the characters are phenomenal, and
yeah.
so getting to explore those character studies would be amazing. But yeah, I'm dreaming. I think I said that on a couple weeks ago on a Living Force episode. What's the thing you want more than anything else? I think that was one of the things that came up was post Tross stuff. But like, I don't know. I don't see it happening anytime soon, man. I know, but we can dream.
Throw it out into
we
the
can dream.
universe just in case.
That's right. So we'll just keep speaking it. Eventually, it'll come true.
Yes, exactly. Alrighty, guys. Well, that'll do it for our May the 4th special. A little bit about what's coming up, what everybody can expect on Utini coming up. We have next week on Cosmic Force, we have our Trail of Shadows roundtable. So, that should be exciting because that was a doozy. So Tyler will be back. Jacob will still be gone. Timothy will still be here. So, Timothy, you got some reading to do. Very excited
I'm so
about
ready.
that.
Bring it on.
Yes, let's do it. And then tomorrow on Legends Look Back, they are discussing the Jedi Knight games, so that should be interesting. I actually have those downloaded on my Switch, but I've never played them, so maybe that'll inspire me to play them. Who knows?
They're good. I think they can, like, don't be afraid to look up a walkthrough on like our video playlist on where to go, because there are several points in those games where you've killed all the stormtroopers and you're like, well, but which doors do I go through now?
That sounds like a classic old game.
It is.
Tyler is. I just remember you have to attack the tree. That's like the first thing you have to do. And it took me 45 minutes to figure that out.
Speaking of things that's coming up, Tyler is reminding us in the chat that this Saturday is Free Comic Book Day.
That's right. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Yes, Free Comic Book Day. Everybody go visit your local comic book shop. Make sure to, not just take the free comics, but also spend a little money there too. They should have some good sales. And support your LCS. And then, lastly on Living Force, on Monday, Queen's Hope Roundtable Part 2. I will be there once more. I'm very excited about that. We had a very good time. Lots of good discussions. If you go back and watch it, if you haven't already, we've kind of, been changing the way we're doing reviews at Utini, and Living Force is also doing, roundtable, tiny bit different at the beginning, and got my brain thinking about what we should be doing for roundtables too. So definitely check that out. I'm looking forward to wrapping up our discussion about that. So with that, Caleb, I'm going to toss it over to you to close it out. But before I do that, thank you again, Corey, for making your Cosmic Force debut. It was a lot of fun, despite the tech issues. So thank you very much. Thanks
for having, guys. It's been a blast for sure.
And Timothy, I will thank you every week. But you're the best because you're just like, hey, I'll spend like 3 months with you guys. No problem.
Of course. Of course. One of my favorite things to do is talk about Star Wars. Oh, and I can't remember if you mentioned it. Right after this, our patrons, if y'all head over into Discord, we're doing something that we haven't done in a very long time. We're doing an Aftermath after show. So we're just going to kind of hang out, talk for like 15, 20 minutes, catch up on the day, and talk about some stuff coming down the pike from Utini. So over in Discord, if you have any problems, hit me up.
Yes, thank you for remembering that, because I definitely forgot. But that should be a lot of fun. And Caleb, I will not interrupt you anymore. Go ahead with that.
I was about to say, absolutely. So again, thank you everyone for showing up, and that will do it for this week's episode of The Cosmic Force. Do remember to like and subscribe to the show right here on YouTube, where you can hear us live every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. We would also encourage you to subscribe to our audio versions on whatever podcast platform you listen to. You can also follow us on Twitter and tweet the show at The Cosmic Force Show. Stay informed about Star Wars happenings, or simply follow us hosts individually. I'm at Caleb Laminack, Emma's at Irma Jedi 26, Timothy as at _T Guthrie, and Corey is at Corey M. Hilton. For reviews, articles, and news for the rest of the expanded universe, be sure to visit utini.com. We also again encourage you to join our Discord community by going to utini.com/Discord. You can help support the show at patreon.com/Utini and start receiving exclusive perks like the Aftermath chat starting at just $5 a month. A special thank you to OK Indar, Brian Dooley, Patrick Ortiz, Earl Q, and Carl Sander on our Jedi High Council, as well as Matt Billington, Elizabeth Cloutier, Freddie C, and Sally and Chris Eilerstein on our Alliance High Command for their amazing and continued support. Thanks again to Emma, Timothy, and Corey for hosting with me, and a special thank you to all our listeners who came up, showed up live, and were watching us every single week. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next week. And as always, may the Fourth be with you.